Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the July 10th Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a little time for myself. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I will take a moment and look this over. The question is, how does Tradition 2 help me recognize the loving expression of my higher power? And Tradition 2 is, for our group purpose, there is but one authority, a loving God, as he may express himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. And the passage goes on to talk about in meetings when people ignore the tradition and it can feel unsafe, but then remembering that Al-Anon has been around for several decades and will not be destroyed by one meeting's imperfection. And this person says that the tradition has also helped them to reframe negative thinking. They like to ask themselves if their thoughts are from a loving higher power or if it's a habit of past conditioning. I like that. Today's reminder: our negative thoughts don't have to control us because we have choices. Hope for today: we are not powerless over ourselves. So how does Tradition 2 help me recognize the loving expression of a higher power? Well, the first thing I want to mention is that in Tradition 2, it says God, it says He, it says Himself. I just want to say that if you call your higher power God, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. If your higher power's pronoun is He, that's great. If it's not, that's fine. Just a reminder not to get, my suggestion, please don't get hung up on those details because they are minute details. They really don't have anything to do with the principles that are being taught. So I love the idea of questioning my thoughts and thinking, would my higher power say this to me? And I must say that a good 50% of the time the answer is no. And then I just have to realize that it's from some other source, it's not productive, it's not beneficial, and I can release it. I can release it to my higher power. I also say there's a Hawaiian spiritual practice, I guess, called Ho'oponopono. And there's a little prayer / saying that goes like this: I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And I guess you could say them in any order that you like, but in my mind it's I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And what that does for me is it helps me to recognize that sometimes my thoughts don't come from me, they come from someplace else, and I can forgive myself and move on. I can release whatever it is. I can forgive myself, I can release whatever it is, and I can just move on without overthinking or being in distress in any way. Because as I've mentioned before, I have like some pretty disturbing thoughts come into my head, thoughts that I don't want. And when that happens, I try not to get too flustered, especially after reading a bunch of like different spiritual teachings. But I love that it's meant the same thing is mentioned here in this reading, that um, it may not be ours. It may not be productive. It's not saying it may not be ours, but it's saying it wouldn't come from our higher power. So like it's not productive. We can let it go. So I guess that's it. If I'm having a thought that is less than gentle and loving, then it's probably not from my higher power. And yeah, I'm not talking about like critical thinking. Like obviously critical thinking is important, but I'm talking about like the negative, like self-deprecating or like just fearful, anxious thoughts. Um, there's a cool bird in a tall tree across the street. Excuse me. That was really cool. Um, when I get those thoughts, it can be it can be kind of scary. So I've learned over time, like they still, like they happen to me every day. And I just have to remember to not entertain those thoughts, to not give them energy, um, to recognize them, and to just say my little, I mean, I could also say, please help me, like to my higher power, please help me. But I also like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I will take a moment to look this over. I have a note in here before I read, I'm sorry, but to interrupt, but today is my friend Emily's birthday. So I don't think Emily watches, but if you do, mwah, love you, Em. All right, I'm reading. This is beautiful. This is about, I guess it's kind of about similar to what this reading was about. It's not about tradition two per se, but it's about um, accepting ourselves, but also questioning our long held beliefs. This person talks about growing up in with alcoholism in their family and thinking limited ideas about themselves, and realizing through Al-Anon that their image was very distorted. And when they finally questioned their beliefs, this person discovered that they were completely untrue. And then that led them to realize that many of their other assumptions were equally as false. And then a whole new life opened up for them. How beautiful. Today's reminder. We can challenge limiting ideas. When we let go of these limiting ideas, we have an opportunity to learn more about ourselves. And the quote is from Richard Bach. If you want limitations, you can have them. In other words, it's all up to us. It's all in our head. I like Richard Bach. He's the author of one of my favorite books, Illusions. I'm pretty sure that's the same person. In any case, I still navigate this challenge. Still. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to work out like what for me is putting myself down and what is just like reality. Like everybody has strengths and weaknesses. Like I play pickleball, I exercise every day, but I don't consider myself athletic at all. Like at all. And when it comes to competitive sports, I am like I got nothing when it comes to competitive sports. I don't watch them. I don't play them. Um, I just like they mean nothing to me. I don't know how to explain it any more than that. Like I don't have positive or negative. It's just like a nothing to me. It's so like I've been playing pickleball. My partner introduced me to pickleball about a year and a half ago, and I can like play, but I've kind of peaked in my learning and in my performance. And luckily, I play with a very non-competitive group of people, but like some of them are improving and I'm not. And could I improve? Possibly. Do I want to put in the time and the effort? No, I do not. Because you know what? As I just explained, I don't care. It doesn't interest me. I don't know why. This is just how it is. I can't explain it any better than that. That's exactly how I feel. And it is, I guess it just is what it is. And is that okay? I guess so. Because it just like that, it is. I mean, that's just how it is. It's like the color purple, different, but similar. My favorite color has been purple my entire life. Why? I have no idea. I have some kind of connection to the color purple. It just is. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you when it started, although I do have a very clear memory of being young and my father having a really cool purple sweatshirt that he used to wear on the weekends when we would go to the park and things like that. So that may have something to do with it. I don't know. And also, Flintstones vitamins when I was little, the purple one was my favorite. But was the purple one my favorite because it tasted better or because purple by that time was like ingrained as my favorite color? I don't know. And it doesn't really matter. I'm just saying, like, as an example. Anyway, I feel like I'm getting off track. A great reading. They all are. We'll close out with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.